The government wants you to have kids because they'll get soldiers and taxpayers. The multinational and companies want you to have kids because they will get employees and consumers. Parents want to have kids because they'll get what? Caretakers? And to be honest, children are the most ungrateful pieces of shit to have walked this planet. And when parents extol about the sacrifices they've made for you, and it's predominantly an Asian or Indian thing, no, you didn't. You didn't know this beautiful me piece of art was coming out. You guys had a moment, and I was the outcome. Am I grateful for this life? Yes, I am, because this is my life. But it could have been different, and I could have held that against you, and I would have held that against you. And tradition is just peer pressure from dead people. And what is this bullshit parampara anyway? Whatever that word means. Everyone asks a woman, when are you going to have a kid? Does anyone ask a woman why she wants to have a kid? Women who are in violent relationships have more children than women in healthy relationships. And this is a statistically proven, unrefutable fucking fact. Patriarchal structures affect and are responsible for the fertility rate. Patriarchal structures influence the fertility rates. And women have been complicit in upholding the patriarchy. And you know what I hate? This fucking phrase, honey, I home, and juxtapose it with the kitchen appliances theory, where advertisers sold housework to housewives, and women thought they were empowered because what? They were choosing a grinder and a mixer and a juicer, and that was empowerment. Well, guess what? That was the biggest form of unsolicited slavery, and that's the fucking truth. So, do you want to have a kid?
I'll answer that in some time. Today's episode is called Not Kidding. Hey, don't panic. This is not an anti-kids episode. This is an episode about choice.
Meri love lingo, love lingo, love lingo. Suddenly meri to love lingo.
Somewhere along the way, having children stopped being a question and started to become an expectation. Hi, this is just Sadguru.
Hi, this is Arsala.
And these two adults are not kidding about how they truly feel right now.
Can I explain how I feel right now?
Let's talk.
But yeah, did you ever want to have a kid?
The answer is yes. And
Still
I
chance.
think that was a very big part of who I was. Someone who genuinely desired to have a child. And I think that kind of transitioned over the years. And it's only very recently that I realized that I have actually outgrown. Like, I no longer desire it. And, you know, I also realized that we have so many dreams, right? And a lot of dreams transcend and they become something else and they just remain a dream. So for me, having a child at one time has changed into not wanting one anymore.
And what do you think? Was there a specific reason, or was it just?
So it's very interesting because I never questioned myself as to why I want a child. I just felt like, oh, it's so me.
It was a dream that was sold to you, like it is to many women, right?
Yes. And you don't even know that dream is sold.
It's
And you
so
don't even
deep,
know
the
that you
conditioning.
bought the dream. But it was my dream. And I'm not going to, belittle it by saying that, oh, it didn't matter. When it did matter a lot. And I felt like I really desire this. But the interesting part is that, now when I look back and I ask myself that why did I really want that? I think it comes from this place of a sense of fulfillment. And when I see myself now being so consumed with different things in life, like be it work, social obligations, or any other kind of engagements, primarily work, and also my solitude for that matter, which I thoroughly love, I realized that that's where I am finding fulfillment. And all of a sudden, this deep desire to be a mother or to have a child just dissipated.
You used the word for fulfillment. Fulfillment doesn't follow a singular script. And I do understand that you can have a desire for something earlier on in life, and then later it might dissipate, which is normal. But sometimes we tend to think that the dissipation is caused by it not being realized. But that wasn't the case with you, right? There was a clear demarcation of a point when you wanted a kid, and then there was a clarity that you achieved where you said, "Look, I don't want one."
So the thing is here, when you realize that you've outgrown something, you outgrow people, you outgrow habits, you outgrow feelings, you outgrow. That's the human evolving into something all the time. And I asked myself that why I don't feel that way anymore, and what is it that I want now? So when I actually sat down and I asked myself, what is it that I want now? I got my answer and I made peace with it. And ever since then, I feel like there is nothing more fulfilling than the kind of life that I want to lead. And what I'm seeking really is freedom. Call me selfish, but you know what I call myself? Being responsible.
But why should anyone call you? Okay, the world is going to call you what they want to call you, and in any way. But why do you say call me selfish? Because I think that's the problem with the world, and I think that's the problem with people who kind of go against the tide or go against the cultural norm. But see, people don't understand. Even culture is kind of a big monster, and it kind of turns on itself, and it is changing. And I think the biggest nightmare for the society right now, and because also it's linked to the male loneliness epidemic, and I have to link it because that is just the natural progression of how the world is going to work. Another thing which is imminent is, the greatest fear that people have from women right now, and the greatest fear patriarchy has for women, is single and child-free women. Not childless, child-free. And I'm sure there's a distinction between child-free and childless.
Please elaborate.
Come on, you know it. it.
Okay, what my understanding is, child-free and childless. Child-free is when you are in cognizance of your choice that I do not want to have a child, or be it, biologically or just adoption, whatever ways it is. But I am clear that I do not want to have a child, and that's my choice. Vis-a-vis, a childless person is somebody who involuntarily doesn't...
Can't have a child. Involuntarily can't have a child.
And they're trying to come to terms with ways of fulfilling that desire.
And do you know what the world calls a childless woman? Do you know what the world...
Barren.
That's how the world treats women who can't have. Empty. So do you understand how deep the fucking conditioning is, and how back into the millennia it goes? That how much course correction needs to be done? Because the world believes a woman exists so she can use her womb. And that is the only reason. So if a woman is barren, then what's her purpose? There are so many men who don't leave children or have children, and it's either by choice or by luck or by whatever you want to call it. Do we talk about their sperm? They give life, right?
That doesn't happen, no.
Do we talk about their sperm? Or are they talking about their sperm in a conversation with each other? So these are like 4 group of men meeting, and they're chilling, and they're like, "Hey, bro, your sperm's going, huh? What are you doing? How are you going to save it? Hey, are you going to, you better have a kid, or the sperm's." I don't think men talk like that.
Because also it's not expected.
Fuck that. Listen, let's be honest. Women have been their own enemies, and we've blamed it onto the world for far too long right now. That's just a fucking woman problem. Because they see themselves from a man's point of view. Until that changes, nothing is going to fucking change in their lives.
But again, coming back to the question you asked me, I would like to know from you as well.
What about?
If you've ever wanted to have a child.
No. But for me, in my personal space, I never thought my existence is connected to my womb. I never thought that that is the reason or the basis of me living this life is to giving a child is an outcome of being married in my sense, right? I understand that being married was an essential part. First comes the marriage, then comes the child. I mean, it's okay if you have the child first and never get married. That's totally okay. I never even wanted to get married. So I'm an anomaly in this freaking world, in the social kind of dynamics that exist. But me being an anomaly now, I don't feel like an anomaly anymore because I know where the world is going. I know where the world is. It's turning, it's churning, and the world has to turn and churn and evolve. And what was considered taboo or what was considered a sin will become normalized. Do you understand what I'm saying? Whatever is wrong with the world criticizes women first. So, have you ever heard people talk about single fathers and saying that, oh, he's a single father, how will he manage it? Or it's so sad he's a single father. Wait. But with single mother, they're like, kaise tum guzarogi zindagi?
But I just think it's the tag single.
Okay,
single
you
mother,
raised your
single
hand.
father.
I want to know why you raised your hand. Come on, elaborate.
I mean, have you ever heard of a single father, people talking about, oh, how is he going to manage? Yes, I have my own father, my own dad. So I don't have to go any further away. It's like so close to home. So for me, it's just the term single that probably people get uncomfortable. It's not about...
Yeah, you're right.
I don't think it's about man, woman. I just think it's about, socially, people are going to talk about it. And that's a different conversation altogether.
But my family was never interested in me having a kid or me getting married. But I've always confronted people who've asked me, when are you going to get married? When are you going to have a kid? You know what they said? Aksha, tum shaadi nahi kar rahi ho, bachcha to kar lo. मैंने कहा क्यों करूं? And listen to this, the reason for having a kid. तुम्हारा बुढ़ापे में कौन ख्याल रखेगा? Who will take care of you when you grow?
That's crazy.
So do you understand that even parents are selfish? I'm not saying every parent is selfish, but I'm just saying that's the fucking...
They're conditioned as well.
Yeah,
Who do you
conditioned as
blame,
well.
really? Sadguru was on this panel and he was confronted with this super cool question. The question was, what is this compulsion about having children? And he came back with this in a nutshell. He said that any woman who is capable of having a child and chooses not to have a child should be awarded. So I think I've received my award, Sadguru, but let me tell you that this is what he said. And it made so much sense to me because it got me thinking. He spoke about fulfillment as well. He said that the desire, this deep desire to have a child comes from, again, a sense of fulfillment, where you feel that something outside of you is going to complete you. Something that you call that belongs to you, and that is going to fulfill you. Yeah. But if you find that fulfillment in anything else that you can feel connected with, you are living in a very fulfilling way, right?
I totally agree with what you just said. This is something that I have never understood, that something outside of you or an externality or another human being, and it kind of weaves the web of the duplicitous stories that people have been told that someone else will complete you. We're
a child, a spouse, a partner, a parent, a sibling.
What about orphans? I know I'm kind of deviating, but what about orphans? Are they? That's what the fucking world says, right?
Yeah, it gets
You're
you
incomplete.
thinking.
You don't have a father. You don't have a mother. You don't have a brother. You don't have a sister. But do you know what, Jess? A lot of people have everything and they feel lonely. What about them? Do you know the world has a problem with everything that you're going to go through and everything that you have or not have? And that is their fucking problem, not yours. That's what I've been trying to tell. And let's be honest. fuck, humans are not an endangered species.
Right.
Fuck them, man. They're what, 8 billion right now? By the year 2050, it's predicted to double or more. Do you know what an environmental impact it's going to have if we have
And
more
we're
people
trying
now?
to decrease population here, but it's not happening. And that's
And
what...
this is by choice. This is not something that we're radicalizing through the government. This is by choice. If a woman or a man or a couple doesn't want to have children, you know what you know what the world says to them? They'll regret it. And let's talk about this word regret.
Oh my
Let's
God,
talk
that's
let's
my
talk about this
favorite
word.
expression actually. Okay, so the one among the many statements you get to listen and hear all the time is, "You'll regret this." Oh my God, I feel threatened. Don't do that to me. Now, imagine this situation. You've got a call from your best friend, and she says, "Hey, there's some good news. I'm preggers."
Wow.
And your reaction is, "You'll regret this." Whoa, your friend is going to hate you. She's going to call you a jealous bitch. And that's going to be the last call because you offended her. Like, this is good news. And how could you react like that? And you're not my friend anymore. Now, reverse the scenario. You're meeting a bunch of friends after many years. They are married, parents also. And they look at you. And of course, you are the single person living your life
Blessed.
the way you want to.
Yeah, I mean, on your terms.
And they look at you mid-conversation. "You'll regret this." Whoa, am I supposed to get offended? Yes.
But they're so fucking easily offended.
Exactly.
I'm telling you this.
Or am I supposed to now? Again, the conditioning here is so crazy.
Yeah.
Hear me out. My reaction today is very different. But trust me, if somebody, a friend, told me this sometime back, a couple of years back, I would think, oh, they're so concerned about me. Let me just explain to them that, you know what, right now is not my time. But today, if somebody said that to me, I would be like, get up, pack your bags, bye-bye.
A lot of things are unsaid, and you understand a lot of things from nonverbal cues. And if a person does say something as deep as like, "You're not gonna have kid," and they're just like, they just kind of look at you differently, I know on what level they are vibrating. Energy speaks when you're silent, even when you're silent. So take your fucking cues from all the people around you. And if they're not in your zone, then they're not in your zone. Understand nonverbal cues. I'm telling you, it's the most important things.
But, because we're talking about regret and children, and this conversation is about regret and children, parental regret is a thing too. Regretting having children. Have you ever paid attention to that?
Well, they'll be in denial, probably. You know how it is. You know how society redacts
100%,
from their natural state.
But hear me out. There was a study that was done in a poll where they found out that in Germany, 1 in 5 parents, 1 in 5, mind you, the ratio is 1 to 5.
It's going to increase.
1 in 5 parents regret having children. And that's crazy. And trust me, I know it's a very cultural thing because in India, this wouldn't really work. But if in our country...
why it wouldn't work? Because they're in denial, not because it's not the truth. Because children, I was a child once. I was the most fucking asshole in the world. And I know that. Children are the most, when I said it, ungrateful pieces of shit. That rings really true. And it begins with me.
You are on
You understand what I'm saying?
point. It is denial. But please understand, I was thinking to myself that, oh my God, the Germans really have it so clear and they're really not sitting on the fence here. But if the same study had to be conducted in India, 99.9% of parents would have been in denial.
Oh, yeah. And the kids...
Absolutely denial.
Yeah. Oh,
And the thing is, यहाँ पर ऐसा है कि आपको पता है आपका बच्चा बदतमीज है, निकम्मा है, आपको पता है, पर जिस दिन आपके पड़ोसी ने या आपके कोई रिश्तेदार ने आपके बच्चे के बारे में कुछ कह दिया, तलवारें निकल आएंगी।
अरे तलवारें गले कट गए।
मेरे बच्चे के बारे में तुमने ये बात कैसे की? Because they are in bloody denial.
Yeah.
And they will never accept.
Yeah.
So parents regretting having children, think about it. Maybe. I know it's this love, unconditional love, but
That's why my
these
point
things
with unconditional love, I never really bought to it. I'll buy everything, but I'll not buy unconditional love. Because even a parent loves their own fucking child, right? It's not someone else's
Okay,
child.
we're not
I'm not
haters.
gonna
Okay,
digress there, but
we're
yeah,
compassionate
we'll come
people
back.
here,
Yeah.
but we're just trying
No.
to decode the human condition. And just because you are a parent or you are a child or you are child free doesn't give you the license to not feel a certain way. It doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the funny part here is there's this page on Facebook which has like almost 85,000 followers. And you know what's the name of this page? I regret having children.
Oh, wow. I'm going to follow that page.
And then if you look up, is there a page which says, I do not regret having children? There is no page.
Yeah.
So,
You know, and another thing I want to tell you now that you talk about regret. So I want to tell you something. So when someone told me I'll regret it, and they did tell me that because, who's going to take care of you? And I happened to go, you go for those yearly tests that you go for, annual medical test to the hospital. Anyway, I'm going to the hospital. And when I arrive at the hospital, I see, of course, a lot of people are there at the hospital getting themselves checked. Some are coming for various reasons. Some are there as an outpatient and inpatient.
Oh.
Anyway, so after having these words said to me that you will regret it. So they were kind of reverberating because I really didn't pay attention to it. But when you go into a hospital, you're reminded. Then I see a lot of these elderly people with younger people carrying their files in bags.
right.
In plastic bags.
Right.
That's a thing in India, right? Everyone carries a medical report in a plastic bag. And I see all of them walking past me, and I'm like, fuck. If I reach that age, man, am I really just gonna... Then I'm like doing mental calculations. Who's gonna come with me? Who's gonna be with me? Who's gonna, accompany me to the fucking hospital when I'm getting my, what's that called?
Is that existential crisis too?
A fucking what's that thing that goes up your ass? Can you guys, anyone?
I am bad with
something
medical
goes
terms.
up your ass, and and who's gonna be there holding my hand when something like that is happening? And for a moment, and I'm just talking here like for a moment, I went into that angst, and I'm like, fuck, man. But then I said to myself, fuck you, Ursula. You're such a fucking sellout at the first get-go. Think about this. You came into this fucking world alone. You're going to be fucking... Even if you're shot in a firing squad or you're killed or you die in a plane crash, you're going to be alone going into interred or burned. No one, even if someone is on top of you, it's a lonely fucking ride. So what is the world fucking trying to tell you? That you can't be alone for a moment? That's very uneasy and uncomfortable, and you should never be alone?
बुढ़ापे का सहारा.
अरे कोई किसी का सहारा हो ही नहीं सकता. Everyone checks out, but just at a different time. That's the fucking reality of life. ये दुनिया अपने आप से मुतासिर नहीं होने देगी. ये चाहती है कि आप अपने आप से अलूफ रहें, आप अपने आप से जुदा रहें. Because you know what? अगर आप अपने आप में ही इसको प्राप्त कर लोगे जो भी करना है, तो मोक्ष है ना यार. दुनिया नहीं चाहती आपको ये मिले, because उनके illusions आपसे जुड़े हुए हैं.
और अगर आप में ये समझदारी है, and this wisdom that you understand and you can discern, then it's
But just इतना आसान भी नहीं है. I think it's very easy.
So let's not blame dunya. I think we should look at ourselves and take responsibility.
Absolutely, because
So
that's what I sometimes...
Let's not say दुनिया ये वो भाई. अगर आपको ये इस चीज की knowledge है, wisdom है, तो फिर you cannot point a finger.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
The world wants you to be uncomfortable in your own solitude. But hey, there's news for you. The most comfort you will ever find is when you're
in your
alone.
own company.
In your own company, and let that reverberate. And also, everyone leaves, everyone checks out, just at a different time. Then I thought to myself, and I never had nothing that I ever had double thoughts about. Why should a woman be excited कि उसमें एक भूकंप आ रहा है, उसका एक हिस्सा फटेगा और फिर खुद से बंद होगा?
Okay.
Oh, wait, why should she be excited?
Okay,
She's
wait.
going to be ruptured, and you're telling me, oh my God, you should be so excited.
Okay.
The fuck does that-
Biologically, it's not a very pleasant experience giving birth. I get that. But I feel like if you are not feeling happy, or if you are feeling happy for someone who's in cognizance with their choice of having a child, And if you're happy for them, I think it's
No, I
okay.
disagree. That's why
Why? Just
postpartum.
because I want to be
I'm so
child
sorry.
free,
Let me bring
I'm
it-
not going to be happy
No, it's a
about you
biological
being
thing.
a
It's
mother. So
postpartum. You know what my sister said, and it made so much sense to me.
That's a personal
No, let me
experience.
tell you. You know what she said? You know what? People talk about getting married. People talk about things like, oh, you know, you're gonna get married. But you know, they prepare you for the marriage, the day of the marriage. Do they prepare you for anything? Do they tell you that these are the things that are involved? I think there should be certain things that should be.
100%.
And that is a part. So this excitement feels like
For
an
what?
erasure of
be,
a true...
no, elaborate. Excitement for what? Specify.
you know, you should be so excited. She might be scared. And of course...
No. Hold on. I did not mean when you said people are excited for you, I understood their sentiment. I did not, for now you're saying that you should be excited that you're pregnant. That's
No,
not.
and you're going to be ruptured and you can...
But
you
no,
know, come on.
that's people who
That's
say that, it's like, okay, you
So
then you're very, then I think it's like,
So I know where they're coming
they don't know
from.
how to
I know-
contain.
No, it's not about... Come on, man. If I heard someone is pregnant, firstly, I would like, okay, is this something that you want? Is this something that's okay? Oh, you should be... It's such a fucking fake emotion, do you know? It is a fake emotion.
Okay.
Now tell me
When
it
you're
isn't.
pregnant-
You should be excited.
See, how can we decide if somebody is breaking that news to you? Now, it also depends relationship to relationship. Now, you have a sister, so your reaction is going to be very different. That if somebody breaks this news to you, you're like, oh my God, that is so exciting, right? That's what
I
would
never
do.
said I would do that.
You wouldn't do that?
No way.
But
I'm not a
people do
phony.
it.
I'm
But
not a
no,
fucking
hold
sellout.
on, hold on.
Yeah.
People do it.
Yeah, people
and,
do it.
And sometimes they do it for somebody who's really wanted to have a
Who
child.
knows why they do it?
But
They're
what
just
if you have that
conditioned to do it.
information? Hello? You cannot just
No, babe,
outrightly.
we're-
No,
okay,
I'm so
listen,
sorry.
I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm so
disagree with
sorry.
you because
I think
because
the
a lot
world is a
because
fucking
women.
phony
Hold on.
place.
Women want to have a child. It's a choice.
I
And
think
some
men also
women-
do want to have a child.
Let's talk about
Let's-
women because they are the carriers, clearly.
Okay.
Let's focus on that point.
Okay.
Women, some of them, they want to have a child. It's a choice. Some of them don't want to. But the ones who don't want to and they get pregnant, and if you know their story, then you are going to empathize with them. But the ones who have made a choice that I want to have a child, and if they break this news to you, I'm not going to gaslight them by telling them, but hey, wait, the same thing.
No, I'm
You're
so
gonna
sorry.
regret
It's
it.
not gaslighting.
Are you sure?
Oh, fuck
No,
off.
that's not my place.
No. It's well, then it's not your place
It's my
to kind
place.
of be
Okay, you
excited. So
sharing-
you will just be like, okay.
But
no,
how do
I'm just
I-
saying it's not
okay,
a normal fucking
you have
phony
to-
reaction
then-
that I've seen spill over on
There
and
is
on
nothing-
and on.
I'm so sorry. And this is not performative either. If
It
somebody
is totally
no,
performative,
it is not.
and it is totally conditioned.
It is not.
and it's totally
It depends on dynamics. It depends on who the person
Well, then
is. It
why are we
depends on
talking
so
about
many
something
things.
meta and confine it to people we know? Let's do that. Does any mother in the world, and specifically India, because we're living here right now, talk to their daughters and tell them about postpartum, that this is a reality that you will go through?
No.
So why should a woman be excited when she's pregnant?
Because
why?
she herself doesn't know there's something like postpartum
No, she
that
knows. Oh,
exists.
come on. Now you're
And then
talking
she
bullshit. Now we
understands
know.
because she reads it
Now
up.
we
Now
know.
women are becoming
And
more
women,
aware.
that is the awareness I want to create. So this
And-
phony excitement, I would be like, do you know what goes on? Do you know what happens to your body? Do you know what happens to your mind? Are you well aware of that? And then you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, I totally agree. Postpartum is a thing. Now, I haven't experienced it, so I can't really say from my experience, but I've heard friends who are mothers now talk about it. In fact, this reminds me of this one incident my friend shared with me, which is very personal. So, in a nutshell, a school friend of mine, I was visiting her in London, and she happened to be a mother already, a mother of 2 children, beautiful children, toddlers. And, it was a beautiful afternoon, Sunday afternoon. I was having lunch at her house, and she came driving, picking me up, and then we went for coffee. And in conversation, she opened up to me and she told me about what a dark period she went through after her first and her second child. So the first child, when she had her first child, she went into this really deep, deep depression. With her second child, she started questioning herself that why did I go down that road again. And that bitterness kicked into her. And this is a moment in her life when she pulled out her car, sat in the car, and she started driving. She said, let me go for a drive. And where she lives is now on the outskirts. So there is a lot of, it's like a hilly area and it's a lot of curbs.
Countryside in London.
Countryside. And she started driving and 30 minutes and 1 hour and 2 hours. And then she started drawing blanks and she didn't know where she was going. And in that moment of zero clarity, a thought came into her head that what if at this point of time, I just drive down the cliff? None of this will ever bug me. None of this will bother me. Where do I take this feeling, this emptiness, this vacuum, this clinical, I would say, clinical depression that the postpartum had kicked into her? It drove her to a point where she was okay with abandoning, with ending her life, knowing that she has another child who was barely 2 years old at that point of time, a husband, a family, and now she's also carrying a child and she's almost 7 months pregnant.
Bravo to that woman for opening up to you, because sometimes that's enough to save her life. Nothing is a fairy tale. This life is not a fairy tale. Having kids is not a fairy tale. So never let anyone shame you for not having a kid, because not wanting to have a kid isn't good enough reason to not have a kid.
Women who, okay, you spoke about shaming. Women who endorse child-free living are shamed. But this conversation that we are having today on Love Lingo podcast is not about shaming women who choose to have children or who choose not to have children. And shaming is very reductive.
I mean, it's the easiest thing to do because it's a projection. The world is always projection.
The ultimate projection.
It's the ultimate projection that the world is always doing that. Okay, you tell me. You know the world is changing. And that's a beautiful thing because civilization is evolving and we're evolving to a place where we can have this.
And we can count ourselves in it because I thought a certain way and now I think a certain way. So I understand that right now, in this time, in 2026, we all are getting closer to being more self-aware of our choices and our decisions and the whys. There is more clarity with regards to why we want to do something or why we feel a certain way.
Now, I'll give you an example. We go to a store, साला शर्ट खरीदते हैं, कभी कभार कहते हैं नहीं यार आज रात सो के आता हूँ, कल फैसला करेंगे क्या खरीदना है नहीं खरीदना. यार ये बच्चा है, you're bringing a life into the world. You don't even want to think about it. You're getting married, you don't even want to think about it. These are things that really require you to put all your agency into. Not just a random, अरे मेरे तो मेरी माँ की भी शादी हुई थी, मैं तो वहीं से चलो मैं भी कर लूँ. मेरे तो आंटीज की भी हुई थी, मेरे तो cousins की भी, सब लोग, oh, it's a fairy tale. It's not the fucking fairy tale they've made you believe that it is. It's not a fairy tale. It's a reality. It's a ground reality, man. See, this is another problem I have with people thinking that they have ownership of anything that comes from them. Do you understand? We don't own our parents.
And we don't own our children. So talking about, parents owning children and children owning parents and that ownership is such a
it's diabolical.
Such a bogus thing.
And it's diabolical.
It is. And also, when we think of the highest form of love, when we think of the most unconditional love, we always go back to Ma or Bacha, the mother and child love, the mother and child bond. That's like the ultimate form of love. I understand that
it has to be, and I'll tell you
totally.
why. Because 9 महीने एक औरत incubate करती है एक जान, वो आसान नहीं है. वो आसान नहीं है, तो वो मुझे समझ में आता है.
Yes.
वो मुझे connect, यार कटता भी तो umbilical cord है ना.
Absolutely.
है ना?
No, there
आपसे
is a
जुड़ा हुआ
lot
होता
that
है.
a woman goes through because she is clearly the carrier. The universal thing out of all of this is that everybody around the world talks about the mother-child love, which is so pure, which is so unconditional. I know you have a problem with that word, but I am going to use that word here. Very often, I've had people talk about in conversations that how would you know how transformative motherhood is if you don't have a child.
Yeah.
And then I think to myself, I'm like, yeah, there is a point there. I get that. But do I have to check into every portal?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's
I
a great
don't
point.
think I want to now anymore
Yeah.
because I'm very clear, right? I know that where
That's a very strong point you made there.
I just have that clarity,
Yeah.
my whys
Yeah.
and my whens.
Yeah.
Again, there's a disclaimer here. This episode is not about anti-kids or, propagating not having children, but never say never. At this point of time, this is my reality.
And I think kids are my kryptonite. And let that be vague if it may be, but that's the truth. Kids are my kryptonite.
What is kryptonite? I really don't know what that means.
You don't need to know. I'm just saying it out there for
But
people.
maybe our friend who's listening in right now would want to know.
No, they will look it up. Word ka
Can you
mega.
pronounce it?
Kryptonite.
That's an American accent, so if you
अरे
would
नहीं
just say
यार,
that, just
Indian है
Google
करूँ.
it.
क्या, come on यार.
So I choose to be the Taylor Swift mother that I got from one of my teammates. So that's flattering.
Wow, Taylor Swift mother meaning? उसका
Look it
गाना?
up. Look it up. Look it up.
वाह, जल्दी सीख रही हो. Very good. No, I don't think this is a rant against having a child. I think this is pretty much a space where we've kind of saying that if you want to have a child, okay. If you don't want to have a child, like I don't, please don't come to me and ask me when are you having a child, because it is such a redundant question and I'm almost tired of it. Because, hey, have I ever asked you why you had a child? Because it'll be so easy for me to ask you, listen, hey, why? What the fuck, don't you know? And that could be intrusive and that could be invasive, and I don't do that. So there is a personal codification of space that should be respected.
Right.
It has to be a place where I'm comfortable, like here. I'm very comfortable in having this conversation. So I think if a conversation is something that I'm so comfortable about, bringing a life into this world, and if I'm clear about it, it's none of anyone else's fucking business.
Yeah, and stop shaming women and men as well in this conversation for making a choice whether to have a child, to live with that choice, or to live child-free. And I think a lot of men as well choose not to become fathers, and that is absolutely fine, because end of the day, it all comes down to choice. And respect the other person's choice. Do not expect them to have the experience of your lived experience and impose that on anybody. And this comes with any choice, right? And having a child or having children is an extension of you as a woman, but that's not the definition of a woman. That's what I feel. And it shouldn't be the prerequisite for you to prove that you are a woman because you can have a child.
And let be clear, let this also be clear. I love children as long as they're not mine. I love children if I can return them home at the end of the day. एक और बात, ममता. ये क्या चीज़ होती है ममता? खैर, मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि ये हम पे थोपी जाती है कि so if we're, as a woman, if I'm interacting with a child, मेरी ममता जाग रही है. नहीं यार, मेरी ममता नहीं जाग रही है. मैं एक अच्छा इंसान हूँ. मुझे पता है किस तरह से एक इंसान के साथ बिहेव करना है, एक बच्चे के साथ किस तरह से पेश आना है. मेरी इंसानियत जाग रही है. Don't attach it to things that you do not know anything of. तो ये बातें भी थोड़ी सी invasive और बुरी लगती हैं. और दुनिया को यार
You have a problem with having somebody calling you ki mamta?
But ये see understand ममता उनने word use किया. But देखो यार
Because it means in English
अच्छा, if
motherly. So you have a problem with motherly?
I don't have a problem with motherly, mamta, whatever, but I thought that was a transgression. नहीं जाग रही मेरी
It's
ममता. मेरी
human.
इंसानियत. It's human. मैं
इंसानियत.
इंसान भी तो हूँ यार.
Yeah. Why attach a
मतलब,
gender?
Gendered क्यों कर रहे हो? तुम्हारी ममता जाग गई इसलिए तुम्हें प्यार नहीं भाई. मैं इंसान हूँ. Because we love kids.
Yep.
Just not our own. I mean, I love kids, but just not my own. I just don't desire to have one of my own. Because इतने तो खूबसूरत बच्चे दुनिया में हैं यार. और वैसे भी मेरी बहन के बच्चे इतने प्यारे हैं, मुझे तो मतलब अब कुछ ज़रूरत ही नहीं है. तो खैर.
Thank you for watching yet another episode of Love Lingo podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. YouTube, we are Love Lingo podcast, and also on all audio streaming platforms. You'll find us on Spotify, on Apple Podcast, and Amazon Music, or wherever you find your audio streaming on. Hey, listen, we're also on Instagram. Find us there.
Yep.
It's Love Lingo podcast.
If you think that we having our point of view has somewhere kind of hurt you or
Triggered you.
Triggered is the right word, then let us know why. And let us know how you're conditioned also, what that conditioning is. And when the world kind of shuts down and is quiet, what are the thoughts that are going in your head? Sit with them. And then you'll know exactly why you liked or didn't like what we said. Because this came from it was raw and it was real. It's our lived truth and reality. We've come to accept it. And I also do believe in never say never, though. It is just a conscious decision, not what the world throws at you, is what we're saying. Is that
Right. So
yeah, and keep following, keep listening, and if you like us, please. वो सब्सक्राइब का बटन किधर होता है यार? इधर होता है ना? हिट कर यार, come on.
like भी कीजिए हमें.
Please यार.
And let's make
Love.
pop
again.
Yeah.
And someone come in between, someone just jump in between. Jump.
There. Oh.
कोई तो आए यार. कोई तो आए. Lakers आ यार.
Somebody come.
Come.
They can,
Say. Make. What is say it?
So let's make
love.
ये भी तो बच्चा
Pop.
है यार. ये भी तो
Pop again.
अरे बेबी कितना प्याला मिला बच्चा.
See, we love
love
kids.
You love kids.
Yeah. We totally do, man. We totally do.
मैंने दूध मंगाया था.
थोड़ा ऊपर बना
Charlie. अच्छा लगा? Okay.
Wow. You see, this is real, okay? You have to believe it.
This is not performative.
This is no performance, no performance. हाँ,
ममता जागी?
देख के इतनी जागी मैं क्या बता कि शायद सोचना पड़ेगा ये एपिसोड के बारे में कुछ हो रहा है, एक और शिफ्ट हो रहा है. All right,
Don't take anything seriously.
let's make love pop again and again and again and again.
So will you, just at a different time. So yeah.
And if making love pop again means having a child, well, go for it.
Not.
Go
but think
for
about
it.
everything we said, huh?
Go for it.
अंधेरे में भी सोचना, उजाले में भी सोचना, और फिर आधे अंधेरे उजाले में भी सोचना. वाह, बहुत जरूरी है.
And go for it. Just make sure it's your choice and yours
And not
only.
anyone else's. Don't let the world decide for you. Is my last parting shot. None. एक भी decision तुम्हारी जिंदगी का किसी और ने किया तो तुम निकल लो यहाँ से.
समझे?
समझे? Okay, love you. Bye. Popping out.
हम है राही प्यार के ढूंढे राबता दुनिया कहती हम अलग है हमको इससे क्या हम है राही प्यार के ढूंढे रहनुमा पल में जी के देख ले